Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve. Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
I know Thanksgiving is still a week away, but there's a lot of Thanksgiving shows to be heard during this week of Classic Radio, and then next week of Classic Radio Theater. We'll hear a lot of them. And this week, because, what was it, in the 1930s and early 1940s, late 1930s, early 1940s, Thanksgiving was on the third Thursday, not the fourth Thursday of the month, and so there were a lot of Thanksgiving shows this early, and that's what we're going to hear starting today with an episode of the Jack Benny Show from 1939, Amos and Andy from 1943, The Life of Riley from 1944, and Phil Harris-Alice Faye from 1950. Well, in that show, there's a reason, and you'll hear about it. And we'll also hear from Superman during this hour as well. That's all coming up on this Sure Happy It's Tuesday, 19th day of November, 324th day of the year, 42 days left till we get to 2025. Now, Christopher Columbus went ashore on an island he first saw the day before. That was this date in 1943 he went on shore. It was called San Juan Bautista. That's what he named it. It would later be renamed Puerto Rico. Also on this date in history, President Lincoln delivered his historic Gettysburg Address.
77 years ago, our fathers brought forth upon this continent a new nation.
No, that wasn't the president. There were no recordings in 1863. This was a 1903 recreation by Len Spencer. In 1903 recording, that's still pretty good to still have it, you know. Samuel Goldfish and Edward Selwyn established Goldwyn Company on this date in 1916. He would change his name from Goldfish to Goldwyn. The company later became one of the most successful independent filmmakers. They established it on this date in 1916. In 1954, Sammy Davis Jr. lost his left eye in an automobile accident in San Bernardino, California. And, that was one of the things that Sammy always joked about. You know, he joked that he was a black Jew, one-eyed black Jew, and he would make that joke about himself till his dying day. He was a delightful man, and he knew about self-deprecating humor. He really did. In 1959, Ford Motor Company announced the discontinuance of the unpopular Edsel. On this date in 1969, Apollo 12 astronauts Charles Conrad and Alan Bean landed at Oceanus Procellarum, the ocean of storms, and became the third and fourth humans to walk on the moon.
Okay, the flag is up.
Roger, copy, the flag is up. We show you're very close to the nominal timeline. How about a EMU check?
Okay. Yes, we have the flag up. Like I said, I hope everybody down there is proud of it. If we are to put it up.
Charles Conrad, Alan Bean, the third and fourth humans to walk on the moon on this date in 1969. 1977, Egyptian President Anwar Sadat became the first Arab leader to officially visit Israel when he met with Israeli Prime Minister Menachem Begin and spoke before the Knesset in Jerusalem seeking a permanent peace settlement.
What I really, at heart, want from this visit, that the wall of that was created between us and the Israelis, because of the psychological problems, comes down. If this war, the psychological war, comes down, I'm okay.
Despite a lot of talk and a lot of work, we still do not have peace in the Middle East. It's been tried for, 70 years. In 1979, Iranian leader Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini ordered the release of 13 female and black American hostages being held at the embassy in Tehran in 1979. In 1985 in Geneva, President Reagan and Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev met for the first time. In 1990, pop group Milli Vanilli stripped of their Grammy Award because the duo did not sing at all on the Girl You Know It's True album. Session musicians had provided all the vocals. On this date in 1977 in Des Moines, Iowa, Bobby McCauley gave birth to septuplets in the second known case where all 7 babies were born alive. They would go on to become the first set of septuplets to survive infancy, with all 7 still alive.
This is one of the most blessed events that I've ever encountered.
Mr. McCaughy speaking there. 4 of the 7 siblings are married. 4 of them reside in Iowa. 2 live in Hannibal, Missouri, where most of them attended college. 1 has a child. Another is expecting a child. Now, this is as of last year. We don't have updates on them this year yet. They have pursued various careers and educational paths, which their parents supported. And let's see. What else do we have here? Yeah, they are now 26 years of age as of today. And that is a remarkable thing. 1998, independent counsel Kenneth Starr laid out his case for impeaching President Clinton before the House Judiciary Committee.
The evidence thus suggests that the president, long aware that Ms. Lewinsky was a likely topic of questioning at his deposition, made not 1 or 2, but a series of false statements under oath.
And let's make it clear. The reason that they brought him before Congress, yes, it may have been political, but there was justification because not only did he have the affair, but he lied about it. And lying about it under oath, that's an impeachable offense when you were fictitious under oath. Now, should it have been brought? Probably not. No. Didn't do much to help anything, but no. That was just one of those things. 1999, John Carpenter became the first contestant to win $1 million on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire Today. That would be $1.8 million. And 2004, a brawl broke out between the Detroit Pistons and Indiana Pacers players during their game at the Palace at Auburn Hills. The brawl turned into an even larger fight between Pacers fans and Pistons fans. In 2006, the Nintendo Wii first went on sale. In 2007, Amazon introduced the Kindle, an electronic book reading device. I have one of those that I take with me on overseas trips. I don't use it much in other times because I just don't have time to get into big books. And in 2022, a gunman killed 5 and injured 6. What? I have big books here. I do. I just use them mostly for reference. My free time is mostly, sleeping because I don't get enough of that. The Kindle is wonderful. If you've ever traveled and wondered what you're going to do in 17 hours on an airplane, the Kindle's great for that. Now, 2022, a gunman killed 5, injured 17 at a gay nightclub in Colorado Springs. The gunman pled guilty, sentenced to 5 consecutive terms of life in prison without the possibility of parole, plus 2,211 years. That's a long sentence. Passing away on this date in history, actor, singer, dancer Stephen Fetchit, also singer-songwriter Bobby Russell, Mike Nichols, actor, director, producer, screenwriter, Nichols and May fame, also cult leader Charles Manson passing away on this date, singer Della Reese, Mel Tillis, and First Lady Rosalind Carter. I still to this day am amazed that 3 people died on the exact same day of such fame. Infamy for as far as Charles Manson goes, but Della Reese and Mel Tillis dying on the same day as Manson. That's horrible. Birthdays on this date include evangelist Billy Sunday.
America needs a tidal wave of the old-time religion. America needs to be taken down to God's bathhouse and the hose turned on her. and the time isn't far distant when the wheels of God's judgment are going to go sweeping through this old God-hating world. And I want to take a pledge in this audience to join me in a pledge that you will never rest until this old God-hating, Christ-hating, whiskey-soaked, Sabbath-breaking, blaspheming, infidel, bootlegging old world is bound to the cross of Jesus Christ by the golden chains of love.
Born into poverty near Ames, Iowa on this date in 1862, he spent some years at the Iowa Soldiers Orphans Home before working odd jobs, playing for local running and baseball teams, and he played in the majors for 8 years, and then in the 1880s he converted to evangelical Christianity. He left baseball for ministry. Billy Sunday, baseball player and evangelist, born on this date in 1862. Also born on this date, President James A. Garfield, actor Clifton Webb, Tommy Dorsey, the band leader, Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, and he was a funny actor, but he was best known playing second fiddle to a horse, Mr. Ed. Alan Young, born on this date.
Lester had a knack, even though he used a soft nylon thread put under the lip, and then he had the end going down the bridle, and he just give it a little tug, and Ed would try to get rid of it. That was his cue. And then he laid a crop across Ed's forelegs, and that was the cue to stop. That was it. But the second year, we could hardly stop him from talking. As soon as he heard my voice stop, his lips would start to go. I'd go ride. I learned to ride on Ed. And Lester and I'd go riding in Griffith Park together, and we'd talk as we rode along, and suddenly Lester laughed. And Lester didn't laugh very much. He said, look at Ed's mouth. When I stopped talking, he'd start to move his mouth. So he was a smart horse.
He had to be smart working with Alan Young. Alan Young, born on this date in history. Also, actress Jean Tierney, born on this date. Baseball's Roy Campanella. Ambassador to the United Nations, Jeannie Kirkpatrick. Larry King, born on this date, as was actor Dan Haggerty. All celebrate the 19th day of November as their birthday.
Hi, this is Jeff Foxworthy. It is now time for the birthday announcements. The following people are now officially older than dirt.
Among them, a man who has seen a resurgence in popularity lately. A lot of his shows are popping up on YouTube and various places. Talk show host Dick Cavett, erudite at the time, did not get great ratings at the time, but he was a fascinating interviewer and bring a lot of people in that one wouldn't expect. Dick Cavett, 88 years old today. The man who founded the Superstation, WTBS, TBS, TNT, CNN. Ted Turner, 86 years old today. Clothing designer Calvin Klein is 82. From West Wing and Mom, and won an Academy Award for I, Tonya. Allison Janney is 65 today.
All she does is talk about skating all day and night. Can't shut her up about it. So it's easier for me to put her on ice, if you know what I mean.
She played Tonya Harding's mother in I, Tonya. Got that Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. Allison Janney, 65 today. From Sleepless in Seattle, Meg Ryan, 63.
That was nothing compared to this humiliation. Nothing.
But he saw you, right?
He saw me.
You were face to face.
He said hello.
Meg Ryan, 63 today. From Silence of the Lambs, Jodie Foster, 62.
They were screaming.
They were slaughtering the spring lambs.
They were screaming.
With Anthony Hopkins, Jodie Foster, 62 today. Dax in Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Terry Farrell, 61. Country singer Billy Currington is 51. The co-founder of Twitter and founder of Square, Jack Dorsey, is 48. She won an Olympic gold medal in the 1996 Olympics. Gymnast Carrie Strug, 47. And from Star Wars The Force Awakens, Adam Driver is 41.
I know you've seen the map. It's in there. And now you'll give it to me.
Kylo Ren in Star Wars The Force Awakens. Adam Driver, 41 years old today. Those just a few of the people celebrating the 19th day of November as their birthday. And if this happens to be your birthday...
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
All right, we get to some Thanksgiving shows here coming up in just about 10 days, 9 days from now, I think it is. November 19th, 1939, Jack Benny is up next.
Instead of going down, the annual rate of polio cases in this country is going up. Instead of growing panicky with fear in the face of such an unwelcome fact, there is a way in which we all can join the Army which is fighting to check this trend and ultimately defeat infantile paralysis. We can contribute to the March of Dimes. Give today so that the 1952 March of Dimes will be the biggest ever and a really potent fighting force against polio.
Now, until the 1930s, Thanksgiving was set by proclamation of the president. Traditionally, it was on the fourth Thursday of the month of November, or the last Thursday in November. Well, in 1939, Thanksgiving was moved up a week. He changed it to the next to the last week in November in an effort to boost the economy. It gave an extra 7 days for Christmas shopping, since at the time, retailers did not promote Christmas until after Thanksgiving. But making the proclamation so close to the change wreaked havoc on the holiday. Schedules of many people, schools, businesses, most Americans not in favor of the change. Some who opposed the change dubbed the holiday Franksgiving that year. Some state governors went along with the change. Others stuck with the original November 30th date for the holidays. 3 states, Colorado, Mississippi, Texas, observed both dates. The double Thanksgiving continued for 2 more years. December 26, 1941, President Roosevelt signed a joint resolution of Congress changing the official National Thanksgiving Day to the 4th Thursday in November starting in 1942. And the reason they made it the 4th instead of the last is that some years there are 5 Thursdays in November, depending upon the year. And since 1971, when the annual Uniform Monday Holiday Act took effect, the American observance of Columbus Day coincided with the Canadian observance of Thanksgiving. So I don't know what that has to do with anything, but we'll mention that because I know we have some Canadian listeners, so we'll mention that. What I am going to mention here is this was the first year in which Thanksgiving was celebrated early. And that's why we have a number of shows between 1939 and 1941 that have early Thanksgiving shows. This is one of them. This is from 85 years ago, November 19th, 1939, the Jack Benny Jell-O Show.
J-E-L-L-O. The Jell-O program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingstone, Phil Harris, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. The orchestra opens the program with It's a Whole New Thing. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the age of research. So we've been doing a little research on the subject of Jell-O. Well, we found out that the best days of the week to serve Jell-O are Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Which is just another way of saying that Jell-O is always, anytime, and every time, a perfectly swell dessert. For Jell-O brings you that full, extra-rich flavor. A flavor as fresh and sunny as the real ripe fruit itself. And all 6 of Jell-O's famous flavors have the same rich goodness. Strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, and lime. A grand, satisfying flavor that has made Jell-O America's favorite gelatin dessert. And you like Jell-O's gay, appetizing appearance, too. It's shimmering, jewel-like colors that make it look so inviting. So enjoy some tomorrow. Just be sure to get genuine Jell-O and don't accept any substitutes. Look for those big red letters on the box. They spell Jell-O. That was It's a Whole New Thing, played by Phil Harris and his orchestra. And now, ladies and gentlemen, once again we bring you our master of ceremonies. That bubbling personality, that effervescent comedian, that fizz, Jack Benny.
Hello again. This is Jack Benny, the carbonated kid, talking. And, Don, I like that introduction. It fits me to a T. I am bubbling and effervescent. The fizz you can have back.
Well, Jack, let me explain. When I called you a fizz, it was really a compliment. I meant you were physical.
Mm-hmm.
You know, fizz for short.
I understand, Don, perfectly. In other words, if you called me a mug, you'd really mean I was magnificent. Is that it?
Exactly.
Well, Don, if you think I fell for that, you're a fathead, and that's short for your whole body. Anyway, Don, let's not get into a routine because I know how you appreciate a good story. And I heard a gag a few minutes ago that will positively put every one of your tins in motion. Oh, it's a honey.
It's a good one, huh?
Well, Virgil, the sound man, told it to me, and you know what a clown he is. Get this, Don. Don, I haven't even told you the story yet. What are you laughing at?
Is it the one about the nearsighted old maid that buried the midget?
No, heavens, no, Don. Heavens, not that one. This is a brand new story. Get this. There was a fellow walking down the street, and he was leading a pink alligator on a leash, when all of a sudden it started to act up and snap at him.
Uh-huh.
So the guy got annoyed, turned around to this pink alligator and said, "You better behave yourself, or I'll take a bromo seltzer, and that'll be the end of you." Oh, isn't that terrific, John?
Oh, it sure is. That Virgil has a great sense of humor.
Yes,
Gee, that was a funny story, Mr. Benny.
Oh, Dennis, I didn't see it. Did you like it?
Yeah. But there's one thing that puzzles me.
What?
If the man was walking down the street, where did he get the bromo seltzer?
Well, I don't know. He probably had a box of it in his pocket.
Oh. Then I guess he had a glass of water in his other pocket.
Yes, Dennis, and a banjo on his knee. Now, don't worry about it. Say, you're here kind of early tonight, Dennis. Where's your mother?
She's across the street in the bowling alley.
In the bowling alley? Well, with her legs, you better watch out. Anyway, Dennis, I'm glad you're here on time tonight. Now, try and make a habit of it.
You know, Jack, I can't get over that story you told me. It's silly, but I get a great kick out of it.
Isn't it ridiculous? Oh, hello, Mary.
Hello, Jack. What's so funny?
Mary, I must tell you. Did you hear the story about the fellow that was walking down the street leading a pink alligator on a leash?
Is that the one when the man said, "I'll take a bromo seltzer and that'll be the end of you"?
Yes.
No, tell it to me.
Well, this guy was... Wait, you just told me the answer. I thought you said you never heard it.
Oh, stop, Jack. That's one of the oldest jokes in the world.
Mary, jokes happen to be my business. And if that was the oldest joke in the world, I'd be the first one to know it.
Should I let him have it, folks?
Never mind. Do me a favor, will you, Mary? Go out and come back in again.
Well, gee, Jack, as long as you're telling jokes, why don't you tell a good one? I heard a gag last night that was terrific.
Oh, you did, eh?
Yeah. A man walked into the house and said to his wife, "It's raining cats and dogs outside."
Uh-huh.
And she said, "How do you know?"
Mm-hmm.
And he said,
I just stepped in a poodle. I know where you heard that, Mary, at the Wilshire Bowl. Phil Harris has been husking that for 3 years. That's his theme joke. You know, Don, Phil's idea of humor is really pitiful.
Oh, I don't know about that, Jack. I was at the bowl one night, and the people screamed at him.
Sure they scream at him. Every time he finishes a gag, he has a waiter throw a custard pie in his face. That's why.
I didn't see anybody do that.
Oh, well, you must have been their bucket of water night. That's his idea of changing material.
Well, I'll say one thing about Phil. He sure attracts the young collegiate crowd. All the college boys go there.
They have to go there, Mary. That's part of their initiation. Before they can join a fraternity, they have to either listen to Harris or sleep all night in a graveyard.
In a graveyard?
Yes, and you'll be surprised at the number of kids around here that aren't afraid of ghosts. Yes, sir.
You know, Jack, Phil sure believes in that college spirit. Look at that sign on the bass drum.
Oh, yeah. Phil Harris and his collegians. Look, he spells collegians with one L.
Well, he spells Phil with two, so it's all even.
You know, Mary, sometimes I think that Phil...
Jiggers, here he comes now.
Don't jiggers me. Now, hello, Phil.
Hiya, Jackson. What's going on?
Well, to tell the truth, Phil, for the last 5 minutes, we've been talking about you.
Well, a little build-up ain't never hurt nobody.
No, Phil, and never done you no good, either. Your grammar's worse than Abe Lyman's, and he never got beyond block.
Well, who cares about grammar? I got other things to worry about.
Oh, I can imagine. Say, Phil, I noticed that new sign you got on the bass drum. What happened to that corny painting you used to have there?
Corny?
Yeah, you know, the one with the yellow moon and the green river and the purple trees. Remember that one, Mary?
Yeah, he used to call it Gypsy Doodle by Rembrandt.
That's the one. Whatever happened to that painting, Phil?
I sold it to the Metropolitan Museum in New York.
You mean the Museum of Fine Art?
I don't know what they got there, but that's the joint that bought it.
Phil, are you crazy?
Crazy nothing. Someday that picture will be hanging in Paris, right next to the Mona Lulu.
Well, I'm not going to even bother to correct that. How do you like that, Mary? The most famous painting of a woman in the world, and Phil doesn't even know her name.
If she were alive, he'd know her name and phone number.
And her address and what she's doing on Friday night. Well, I got myself on a detour for no reason at all. And besides...
Say, Jack, why don't you tell Phil that story the sound man told you? He'll get a kick out of it.
Oh, he wouldn't even get it.
Come on, Jackson, what is it? Let's hear it.
All right, Phil. Do you know the one about the fellow who was walking down the street and his pink alligator snapped at him?
Know it. I'm the guy that drank the bromo.
There you are, fellas. He's always got a brilliant comeback, even if he has to make a bum out of himself. Oh, Dennis.
Yes, please?
How about a song before we get involved again?
Okay, Mr. Benny. I'm going to sing an old favorite by Stephen Foster called Jeannie with the Light Brown Hair.
Oh, that's swell, Dennis. I love those old songs.
Old songs, old gags. What this program needs is glands.
Mary, you just attend to your own little knitting. I'll handle the show. Sing, Dennis. The guy that drank the bromo.
I dream of Jeannie with a light brown hair, born like a vapor on the golden air. I see her tripping where the bright spring plays, happy as a daisy along her way. Many are the wild notes a merry voice would call. Many are the blithe birds that warble them all. Oh, I dream of Jeannie with the light brown hair, floating like a vapor on the soft summer air. I long for Jeannie with a day-dawn smile, radiant with gladness, warm with winning guile. I hear her melodies attuned to love, warm as a sunlight from heaven above. Many are the fond notes a merry voice would call, echoed by the birds in the grove, o'er and o'er. I sigh for Jeannie with a light brown hair, floating like a vapor on the soft summer air. On the
was I Dream of Jeannie with the light brown hair sung by Dennis Day. And Dennis, those old songs always do something to me. I love them.
Me too.
Jeannie with the light brown hair. What a grand title. You know, Dennis, I used to have light brown hair in my hair.
Why, Jack, from the pictures I've seen of you, I thought you had black hair.
No, Don, it was brown. Sort of a russet brown. You know, just like the leaves in autumn.
Well, rake them up and let's get on with the show.
Mary, I wish you'd stop with those interruptions. Anyway, Dennis, I noticed another thing. Your singing seems to improve every week. You're gaining poise and confidence.
Well, thanks, Mr. Benny.
Just think, this is your 7th week on my program.
7 weeks. Gee.
Yes, sir.
Am I going to get paid pretty soon?
Pretty soon, Dennis. And now, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are going to...
Hey, Jackson, why don't you pay the kid?
Phil, I intend to pay him. I'm merely holding his salary until he's a little older. I'm teaching Dennis how to save money.
Well, he's learning from the top man.
Thanks, Miss Livingstone. And if I were you, I wouldn't say another word unless you rube it up on the Lum and Abner program. And now, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are going to...
Here you are, Dennis. Did you sing your song yet?
Yes, Mother.
Well, good evening, Mrs. Day.
Good evening.
Oh, Mother, you should have been here a few minutes ago. Mr. Benny told the funniest joke.
It was rather good. Tell it to her, Dennis.
Well, Mr. Benny was walking down the street leading a pink alligator.
Oh, Dude, eh?
Dude, it wasn't me, Mrs. Day. Dennis got the story all wrong. I never touch a drop of liquor.
Then why have you got that red nose?
Because I'm a comedian. What do you think? My tie lights up, too. This story, Mrs. Day, is about a man who takes a bromo seltzer and gets rid of a pink alligator.
What's funny about that?
Nothing. It's very sad. I'm crying like anything. Oh, what a dame.
What's that?
I said, oh, what a game. I saw UCLA play Santa Clara yesterday. It was thrilling. And now, ladies and gentlemen, if you will please forgive my outburst, as I started to announce, tonight we are going to offer an original little playlet all about Thanksgiving, written especially for the occasion by Mary Livingstone. Mary, let me have it, will you?
Oh, Jack, I forgot to tell you.
What?
I changed my mind about a Thanksgiving play, and I wrote a poem instead.
A poem?
Hey, Mary, you mean to say we're not going to do a Thanksgiving play?
No.
Gee, and I was all set to be one of them pilgrims.
Oh, fine. You'd make a great pilgrim, Phil.
Well, I would. Listen, buddy, my ancestors came over on the Mayflower.
Oh, did it dock in Dixie? I thought your family always lived in Tennessee.
Not originally. You see, we migrated from Massachusetts.
Migrated? You don't by any chance mean you migrated?
All right, we moved. Forget it.
Migrated. You hear that, Mary?
Yeah, he put in an extra syllable in it.
You're not palooling.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we get out of the mood, let me say a few words about Jalello.
Jalello?
It is economical, easy to make, and comes in 6 delicious flavors. So look for the big red letters on the barack.
Thanks, Don. You surveyed the day. And now, ladies and gentlemen, as we have no Thanksgiving play...
Mary Livingstone's going to read a Thanksgiving poem.
Oh, no, nothing doing.
Oh, gee, it's swell, Jack.
I don't care. You're not going to read it.
Jack, Benny, you let me read this poem, or I won't buy my Christmas card from you this year.
All right, a lot I make on the ones you get. You don't even have your name printed on them. Now go ahead with your poem.
Okay.
What's the title of it?
The title is Thanksgiving. You're a little mixed up, aren't you, kid?
Well, that fits. Go ahead.
Oh, Thanksgiving. Oh, Thanksgiving. You are with us twice this year. With your pumpkin pie and dressing, and your turkey, front and rear.
That's the part I always get.
The Pilgrims planned in days of yore that you'd come once, not any more. But now you are a double feature, and we don't know which day to greet you.
Greet her?
That's what I said, you gorgeous creature.
Now, don't be funny. Go ahead with the poem.
Suppose we had 2 everythings, 2 New Year's Eves to laugh and sing, 2 Christmases, 2 Labor Days, and 2 Jack Bennies with 2 toupees.
Mary, you're too pressing. Are you through?
No, but I'm coming into the stretch.
Oh.
So Thanksgiving, I don't mind.
Well.
If you're a week before or a week behind. What's the difference? What the heck? The turkey's the guy that gets it in the neck. The end.
Very good. Mary, that was silly, but you came through with flying colors. And now, Phil, how about a number to kind of break things up here?
Okay, Jackson, what do you want us to play? Anything special?
Well?
You name it and we'll play it.
All right, how about that number you rehearsed all morning? You know, the only one you can possibly play.
Oh, okay. Hit it, boys.
He asked for request yet. Hold it a minute, Phil. Come in.
Mr. Benny?
Yes?
Are you a little mixed up on account of the 2 Thanksgivings this year?
Yes, I am. Why?
I was in a fog when we only had one. Goodbye.
He's not kidding, folks. He's got his shoes on backwards. Play, Phil. Cherry Berry Bean, a swing version of an old favorite played by Phil Harris and his orchestra. And now, fellas...
Hey, what's the matter? Aren't you going to complain about the number we just played?
No, Phil, I thought it was pretty good. I liked it. Didn't you, Mary?
Yeah, it was swell. Did you like it, Don?
I thought it was okay. How'd you like it, Jack?
Oh, it was great. How'd you like Phil's number, Mary?
Well, I thought it was a little loud in spots, didn't you, Don?
Yes, it seemed a little off here and there. What did you think of it, Jack?
I thought it was lousy. And now, fellas...
Hey, what is this, a rib?
Yes, Phil, we were just kidding. I thought your number sounded exceptionally good. Didn't you, Mary?
Feel me out. I'm tired.
Now, fellas, as I started to say a little while ago, and before I forget it, Thursday being Thanksgiving, I want all of you to come over to my house for a real old-fashioned turkey dinner. How about it?
Oh, that's great, Jack. We'll be there with
Dennis, this invitation goes for you also.
His mother, too?
Yes, Mrs. Day, my party wouldn't be complete without you.
You don't sound very sincere about it.
Well, what do you want me to do, send you a mash note? Glad to have you. The more, the merrier. Good heavens.
Say, Jack, is this party going to be like the one you gave last Thanksgiving?
What do you mean?
I mean, is the turkey going to be leg of lamb?
Don't worry about that, Mary. This is going to be a real dinner. I've got the biggest, fattest, juiciest turkey you ever saw.
Where'd you run over it?
I didn't run over it. It's a live turkey. I got it in my garage right now. It's roosting on my Maxwell.
That's all that car needs.
Now, you wait till you see that bird. I bet it weighs 65 pounds.
65 pounds? Why, Jack, you must be mistaken about that.
Oh, no, I'm not, Don. I had it on the scales. It's an enormous thing.
65 pounds. Are you kidding?
I'm not kidding. Wait till next Thursday and you'll see for yourself. It's going to be a swell party.
How many people are you expecting, Jack?
Well, there'll be our gang, and then I invited Clark Gable and Carol Lombard, Bob Taylor and Barbara Stanwyck, Tyrone Power and Annabella.
Oh, Jack, you always ask them to every party you give, and they never show up.
Well?
Why don't you stop inviting them?
I can't stop now. They'll think I'm mad at them. You know how it is.
How can they be mad at you when they don't even know 'em?
I don't even know them. Listen, Phil, I know every one of those stars personally.
Sure, Jack tells them their Christmas cards.
Mary, will you stop harping on that? The only reason you ever got cards from me is because I happen to have some left over.
Every year.
Oh, quiet. Now, don't forget, fellas, Thursday night at my house.
Oh, we'll be there, Jack. You know that.
Boy, we're going to have a big turkey and cranberry sauce and mashed potatoes. And, Don, guess what kind of Jell-O we're going to have for dessert?
Strawberry?
No.
Raspberry?
No.
Cherry?
No.
Orange?
No.
Lemon?
No. Give up?
Yes.
Lie. You see, Don, you almost had it.
There's a kindergarten commercial if I ever heard one.
Never mind, that's what we're going to have. Now, look, kids, if I don't see you again before Thanksgiving, be sure and be at my house by 7 o'clock sharp. And don't eat a big lunch so you'll really enjoy the turkey. I'll take it. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Benny, this is Rochester.
All right, what do you want?
Well, boss, I just heard you talking about a big Thanksgiving party Thursday night. That's my night off.
I'm sorry, Rochester, but you'll have to work. You can take a day off some other time.
I can get my twin brother to take my place.
I don't want your twin brother.
Well, he looks just like me.
I don't care if he did. I want you to be at my house on Thursday night.
How about me in spirit and my brother in person?
Rochester, don't try any tricks. I can tell the difference between you and your twin brother.
That's more than this gal can.
Never mind. Now, look, Rochester, I want you to get that turkey up to 70 pounds by Thanksgiving, so go out in the garage and feed it.
I'm working on a Christmas card.
They can wait. Now, go out in the garage and feed the turkey.
Okay. Oh, say, boss, I meant to ask you something about that bird. Are you sure it's a turkey?
What do you mean, am I sure it's a turkey?
Well, I went out in the garage a few minutes ago, and she laid an egg as big as a cantaloupe.
As big as a cantaloupe? What are you talking about?
Not only that, but every time I go in there, she sticks her head in a bucket of sand.
What?
Boss, you bought an ostrich.
I bought an ostrich?
That's right. She just ate the headlights off your car.
The headlights? How do you know?
She had 2 Adam's apples, and they were going down fast.
It's all your fault, Rochester. You were with me when I went shopping for a turkey. Why did you let me buy an ostrich?
I told you it was a pretty big bird for the money, but you know you.
Well, I guess there's nothing we can do about it now. Isn't that awful? I got a polar bear in the guest room and an ostrich in the garage.
And mice in the pantry. Let's move out.
Now, don't get panicky, Rochester. I'll be home in a few minutes. Meanwhile, call up the market and order a turkey.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Oh, say, boss.
What?
Have you changed your mind about using my twin brother Thursday night?
No, I haven't.
Well, I'll figure out something. Goodbye.
Wait a minute. Rochester! Rochester! Well, I'll be darned.
What's the matter, Jack?
Plenty. That big turkey I bought turned out to be an ostrich.
Oh, boy, you're going to be lonesome on Thanksgiving.
I am not. Now, Mary, don't worry. We're going to have a swell dinner. Play, Phil. I wonder if you can eat an ostrich. I don't know.
This year, some folks are celebrating Thanksgiving on the 23rd of the month, others on the 30th. Well, either way, I'd like to offer a suggestion in regard to your holiday menu. For dinner, of course, there'll be plum pudding or pumpkin pie, but later on in the evening, when supper time comes, bring the day's feasting to a fitting close with a truly out-of-the-ordinary dessert. A shimmering dish of golden lemon jello. Now, there's really a luscious-looking dessert, ladies and gentlemen. A grand treat full of the ripe, tingling flavor of juicy lemons fresh from the trees and glowing with the warm color of sunshine. And you can serve it in shapely molds garnished with fruit, nuts, and maraschino cherries. Or it can be sliced into dainty cubes, tumbled into parfait glasses, and topped with snowy whipped cream. Either way, it adds up to a mighty slick dessert that will catch every eye and capture every taste. And that goes for all the rest of Jell-O's 6 delicious flavors. Strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, and lime. Jell-O, remember, is a light dessert. Just the thing to appeal after a heavy midday meal. And it's quick and easy to make and Mother will appreciate it after cooking a big Thanksgiving dinner. So order genuine Jell-O from your grocer tomorrow.
Number of the 7th program in the current Jell-O series, and we will be with you again next Sunday night at the same time. Now, don't forget, Mary, next Thursday night at my house for a real Thanksgiving dinner.
Count me out, Jack.
Now, wait a minute. I'm not going to serve that ostrich. I'm going to have a turkey.
Oh, you are, eh?
Yes.
Well, if I find a headlight in the dressing, watch out.
Oh, don't worry. Good night, folks, and a happy Thanksgiving.
Here's news. Every Tuesday night, the Aldrich family is on the air, starring Ezra Stone as Henry Aldrich, that lovable hard luck kid. Consult your local newspaper or radio guide for time and stations, and be sure to tune in on the Aldrich family next Tuesday night.
Bluebirds in the Moonlight is from Gulliver's Travels. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
85 years ago, November 19th, 1939, Jack Benny here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Up next, we'll check in with Amos and Andy from 1943. They're having turkey trouble.
This is Debbie Reynolds. If you've been wondering what you can do to fight communism personally from your own home, there is something you can do. Support Radio Free Europe, the station built and financed by the contributions of the American public to the crusade for freedom. Radio Free Europe is one Cold War operation the communists fear and attack constantly. Support Radio Free Europe. Send your truth dollars to Crusade for Freedom, care of your local postmaster.
We continue with more of this Thanksgiving-themed Tuesday comedy edition of Classic Radio Theater with an episode of Amos and Andy. This goes back to 1943, November 19th, as Amos and Andy are experiencing turkey trouble.
Good evening. The makers of the new Rinso bring you the Amos and Andy Show with their guest tonight, the Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer star currently appearing in Heavenly Body, Miss Spring Byington. Andrew H. Brown rarely has anything to look forward to. However, this happens to be one of those occasions when he can hardly wait for the day to arrive. His nephew, Jimmy, a member of the armed forces, is coming to New York to spend his furlough with his Uncle Andy. At the moment, the proud uncle is in his office reading Jimmy's letter to Andy.
Listen to this part of the letter, Amos.
Yeah, go ahead, Andy.
He say here, and so I will arrive in New York sometime Thanksgiving morning and will come right to your place. I sure will be happy to see you, Uncle Andy. Give my regards to your friend Amos, your loving nephew, Jimmy.
Oh, that's great. He's coming up to New York for Thanksgiving. Oh, yeah, that's nice, Andy.
Yeah, and look here. He done sent me his picture here in his uniform.
Oh, let me see that. Boy, he's certainly good looking, all right.
Sure is. Everybody say he looks exactly like me.
Tell me this, Andy. Is you going to give your nephew a nice Thanksgiving dinner?
Well, now, that's exactly what I want to talk to you about. I is pretty proud of that boy, Amos.
Oh, I know you is, Andy.
And now, look here. You see, I live in one room, and I ain't got no stove or nothing. I ain't got no way of cooking no big Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, I know.
And I kind of hate to ask you this, but...
Go ahead.
Well, I was wondering if you would put on the dinner at your place. I'd buy the turkey and pay for everything. You see, Amos, it's just on account of my nephew. I'm kind of proud of him, and I want to do it right.
Oh, sure, Andy. Sure we'll do it.
Oh, that sure was nice of you, Amos. I really appreciate that. And I know Jimmy will, too. Yeah, I'm going to write him and tell him that we're going to have a big Thanksgiving dinner for him with turkey and everything.
Yeah, I was just thinking, Andy, Thanksgiving Day is a week from yesterday, and I hear that turkeys is pretty scarce.
Oh, I'll get one all right, Amos. Don't worry. The Kingfish say that he's going to take me over to see his butcher.
I thought the Kingfish and his butcher wasn't speaking to each other.
Well, they wasn't, but Kingfish made up with him at the beginning of the turkey season.
Well, now, all you got to do, Andy, is to get the turkey, and me and Ruby will take care of everything else.
Oh, that's great. Put it there, son.
Well, hello there, boys. How is you?
Yeah.
Well, hello there, Kingfish. We're just talking about you.
Who you was, huh? Speaking of the loving Kingfish.
By the way, did you see the picture of Andy's nephew, Jimmy?
Yeah, look here. Here it is right here. He look pretty good, don't he? He's my nephew on my mama and papa side.
Yeah, nice picture here. He's a private already, huh?
You know, Kingfish, Andy's nephew is coming up here for Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, and I want to get a turkey for him. Kingfish, I want you to take me over to your butcher like you said you would.
Oh, anytime at all, Brother Andy. Yeah, I'll go with you now.
Okay, that's good. By the way, do you know anything about how to pick out a good turkey, Kingfish?
Yeah, sure I do. Brother Andy, whenever I picks out a turkey, I always kind of feels around the legs there. That's important.
It is, huh?
Oh, yeah, you take an athlete. Now, when he runs and exercises and all that stuff, he gets hard and tough. So the idea in picking out a turkey is to get one that has done led a lazy life.
Well, Kingfish, I got just one turkey left.
Yeah, let us take a look at it, Carl. It's for my friend here, Mr. Brown. He got a nephew coming home from the army on Thanksgiving, and he wants to get a nice tender bird.
Yeah. How much did that turkey weigh that you has got there, mister?
Oh, about 14 pounds. That's it right up there on that hook. Last one left.
Boy, that looked good, all right.
Put it down here on the counter, Carl, so I can examine it.
Yeah, sure will. Yeah, sir.
Now, let me see here. I want to feel around his legs here. Yeah. This turkey has done a lot of running, didn't he?
That's prime turkey, and the only one I got left. You're lucky to get it.
Yeah, I think I'll take it, Kingfish.
Now, wait a minute, Andy. Keep your big mouth shut. Wait just a minute here. Don't let's rush into the thing. Let me feel the turkey's wings here. Done a lot of flying, too, didn't it, Carl?
To tell you the truth, Kingfish, I don't know. I just met the bird 3 days ago.
Well, I'm going to take it, Kingfish.
Andy, will you please wait a minute? I'm just trying to help you here. Turn the turkey over on the other side, will you, Carl?
Yeah.
You know, Andy, I don't like the shape of this turkey's back.
Look here, Kingfish. We ain't buying the turkey for its figure.
Yeah, Yeah, but all them things count.
Excuse me a second, boys. I want to go out in front and raise the awning up.
All right, Carl.
Listen, Kingfish.
Wait a minute. Come on down here, Andy, so we can talk. I don't want this other butcher down the other end to hear us.
Well, Kingfish, why can't I buy that turkey?
Now, look, Andy. Do whatever you want to do. It's your money. I just try to help you. I try to give you the benefit of my long turkey experiences.
It's a good turkey, though, ain't it?
Yeah, it's a good turkey, Andy, but I like to check and double-check the thing to make sure.
Well, if you think the turkey is all right, why is we hemming and hawing around here?
Listen, Andy, it's just like when a fella is figuring on marrying some gal. She might look nice and pretty and look good in clothes and all that stuff. At the same time, you want to get a look in her mouth to make sure that you ain't go run into $50 or $100 worth of dental work. And we just want to make sure that we're getting a good turkey, too.
Well, I'm going to buy it, Kingfish.
Okay, then, and I don't think you can go wrong.
Say, Carl, I'll take that turkey.
All right, I'll put it on the scale. Hey, wait a minute. Say, Joe, what'd you do with that turkey that was right here?
Well, I just sold it to that man going out the door there.
Well,
Kingfish, what would you charge to stop helping me?
Well, I'm sorry you boys missed your chance of that turkey, but I guess Joe didn't know you was thinking about buying it.
Come on, Andy. We'll go to a good butcher shop. Listen, Carl, if this is the way that you want to treat an old customer that has paid up till last July, it's okay with me.
Sorry, gentlemen, we haven't had a turkey in here in 10 days. We got a mailing list a mile long.
No turkeys, huh?
Not a chance. We don't expect any more turkeys until after the first of the year, and maybe not then.
Turkeys? Are you kidding?
Yes, Henry, there just ain't a turkey for sale in the whole town.
Yes, I know. Mrs. Van Porter was saying at breakfast this morning that the turkey situation is cute. But I didn't know it was cute as that.
Yeah, well, I could have got one, but this part-time genius here, the Kingfish, helped me so much I didn't get it.
Considering the source of that remark, I'm going to disignore the whole thing.
Please, boys, please, let's not have no fights. After all, we is all civilized gentlemen, you know.
Come in, Lightning, come in.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Lightning.
I thought I'd find you fellas over here at Miss Andy's office. Miss Andy, this letter come for you over at the Lodge Hall, and I thought it might be something important.
Oh, thank you, Lightning. Well, it's from Jimmy.
Oh, it is, huh? What do we say, Andy?
Yes, what is in it?
Say, dear Uncle Andy, I don't have time to write much, but there is a buddy of mine here at camp who lives too far away to go home and visit his folks for Thanksgiving. I took the liberty of asking him to come up to New York with me and have Thanksgiving turkey dinner with us. I hope this will be okay with you. Your loving nephew, Jimmy. Well, fellas, I really got to get a turkey someplace. I ain't going to let them two boys down.
Yeah, sounds like they're counting on turkey already. Gee, Andy, I wish I'd known how to help you.
Yeah.
I wonder if there would be anything in getting a couple of chickens and tell your nephew that the turkeys is running small this year.
Well, another thing, I'd have to tell him that the turkey this year tastes like chickens, too.
Yeah, I guess you would.
Say, boys, I just had a thought here.
Oh, what was that, Henry?
Well, Andy, I wonder if there's any chance of you getting the priority on the turkey.
Priority?
Yes, I know that the Army has done took a lot of turkeys this year, which is as it should be. But it just occurred to me that as long as you was getting the turkey for your nephew and his friend, who was in the Army, you might be able to get a priority.
Mm-hmm. Say, yeah, that's worth trying. Where would I go?
Well, I know that there's a special priority board downtown that handles the unusual things like that. I has had occasion to go there myself. Ask for a Miss Spring Byington.
Come on, Kingfish. We is going down there right now.
Did you wish to see me?
Is you Miss Spring Byington?
That's right. Can I help you?
Yes. Tell Miss Byington the whole story, Andy.
I'll start at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
The reason we come down to the rationing boat here is on account of my nephew. You see, he's in the Army, and he's coming home for Thanksgiving.
Oh, isn't that nice? I was just saying to my husband this morning that I wish Harry, he's our nephew, was coming home for Thanksgiving. He's in a camp in the Middle West. But if it can't be, it can't be.
That's right. Now, what I want to explain to you...
On the other hand, Philip, that's my sister's son. He's stationed in Georgia. Oh, a lovely boy. He looks a lot like my sister Elaine.
Yeah, that's good, all right.
Go ahead, Andy. Tell Miss Byington what you want to tell her.
Yeah, I'll begin at the beginning. You see, my nephew is in the Army, and he's coming home for Thanksgiving.
Oh, really? Isn't that nice?
Huh?
I know how happy you must be. You know, I have a nephew, too.
Yes, we know. He lives in the Middle West, and he can't get home for Thanksgiving.
Oh, you know him?
And start at the beginning again, will you?
Well, this nephew and his buddy is coming home for Thanksgiving, and I want to give him a big dinner.
And we want you to help us if you can.
Why, of course I will. Now, I'd suggest that the first thing you do is to get a turkey.
That's what we want to see you about. You see, we ain't got no turkey.
Well, if I were you, I'd hurry up and get one. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving, and I understand they're getting scarce.
We heard the same rumor,
Excuse me, Miss Byington, but we can get priorities here, can't we?
Oh, yes, indeed. That's what we're here for.
Oh, now we're getting somewhere.
What kind of a priority was it you wanted? Tires or extra gasoline?
And do you think we is too far from the beginning to go back there again?
Well, we can try going back there once more. You see, my nephew is in the Army, and tomorrow is Thanksgiving Day.
Oh, really? Are you going to have a turkey dinner for him?
Not at the rate we're going, lady, no.
You see, like I said before, that's what we come in to see you about. We can't get one in the whole city, Miss Byington, and you see... This dinner is for a couple of soldiers, and that's why we're trying to get a priority from the government on it. You see, we got all the trimmings, but the trouble is we ain't got nothing to trim.
A priority on a turkey?
Yeah, it's our only chance of getting one. We done scarred the whole town. And I promise you that I won't eat none of the turkey myself. I might dip my bread in the gravy, but that's all.
Well, this is the first request we've had like this. I'd like to help. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll call up regional headquarters and see what they say about it.
We'd appreciate it if you would.
You might fill out this application blank in the meantime, just in case.
Okay. Name. I guess I better put Amos Jones' name and address down, too, because that's where we want to have the dinner.
That'll be fine.
Regional headquarters?
Oh, Dorothy, this is Spring.
Oh, hello, Spring.
I called you last night. You weren't home, you little stay out.
Jeanette and I went over to that millinery class. I'm making the most stunning hat you ever saw.
Oh, you're making me so jealous. I need a hat so badly for my new coat. What kind are you making, Dorothy?
Oh, it's sort of an idea of my own. It's an off-the-face turban.
Oh, that should be gorgeous. No, especially with your hair. Oh, anything else new?
No, except that I'm going over to Clara's Sunday afternoon. You going?
Well, I don't know whether Frank's going to play golf or not, but I'll be talking to you before that. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh, if there's anything that annoys me, it's some woman calling me when I'm busy and just talking about nothing. Now, where were we?
You called her.
I called her.
You was going to ask her if there was some way that we could get a priority on a turkey.
Well, how do you like that? She hung up without telling me.
You didn't ask her.
I didn't. Oh, I suppose it's my fault. But it's just that girl talks so incessantly and rambles on. What now? Hello?
Spring, this is Dorothy again. You didn't tell me what you called me up for.
Oh, I'm glad you called back, Dorothy. Listen, can we give out a priority order for a turkey?
Well, not that I know of. At least I've never heard of it.
Well, if anybody would know about it, it would be you.
Well, I've never heard of it since I've been here.
Well, that's all I want to know. Thanks, Dorothy.
Goodbye.
I'm awfully sorry, but there just is no such thing.
Yeah, well, thanks anyway, Miss Byington. We sure appreciate what you try to do for us.
I guess the boys will just have to get along without gasoline. I mean, without a turkey. Goodbye.
No luck at the rationing board, huh, fellas?
No, Amos, nothing. And we even went to 6 more butcher shops and still couldn't get none.
Yes, Amos, I'm going to tell you, I know my way around Harlem here, and I know all the ropes. But I tell you, I just about to give up the thing.
Say, I was just wondering, is there any place where we could get a wild turkey, maybe?
Oh, Andy, there ain't no wild turkeys around here. What you talking about? You know them pilgrims got all of them.
They did, huh?
Sure they did.
Well, tell me this. Does you know a pilgrim that we could call up?
Oh, Andy, that was years and years ago, Andy. By the way, did you see that letter on your desk there that come for you?
Oh, no. Hey, looky here. There's another letter from Jimmy.
Oh, it is, huh?
Oh, say, maybe his friend ain't coming. Mm-hmm. Then if Jimmy comes up here alone, I can take him out to dinner.
Yeah, no. Go ahead and read it then, Andy.
Yeah. Dear Uncle Andy, I want to tell you that I am thinking of 3...
What do you say, Andy?
He's bringing 3 more fellas.
Andy, what time did Jimmy say that him and his friends would get here?
Well, he say sometime around noon. So I guess they won't be here for an hour or maybe an hour and a half yet. Is it anything else you need, Ruby? I'll go down to the store and get it.
No, Andy, I think we have everything. And I think it's going to be a pretty nice dinner, too.
Yeah, well, I bought everything I could think of.
I know you did, Andy. And I'm going to fix everything just as good as I know how.
Oh, yeah, there ain't no question about that, Ruby. I know that. You is a wonderful cook, but there ain't nobody that can make frankfurters take like turkey.
Oh, but I think that the boys will enjoy their dinner.
Yeah, well, wait a minute. That can't be Jimmy. It's too early for you.
It might be for me. I'll get it, Amos.
Is there a Mr. Brown here?
Yes. Yes, won't you come in? Andy, there's a lady to see you.
Hello, Mr. Brown.
Oh, hello there. Hello. You is the lady from the ration boat, ain't you?
That's right, and I have a turkey for you. Here.
Oh, a turkey for me?
Yes. You see, we ordered our own turkey about a month ago, and this morning some friends of ours dropped in and gave us a turkey from their farm, and I want you to have it.
Well, gee, I couldn't...
And fortunately, I had this address, that you put on the priority blank, remember? Well, happy Thanksgiving.
Well, I don't know how to thank you. I wouldn't take the thing for myself, but on account of my nephew and his soldier friends coming, it'll sure make it nice for them. How much do I owe you for it?
Oh, right. You don't owe me anything. It didn't cost me anything. I'm not in the turkey business.
Oh, well, this sure is nice of you, lady.
Yes, it sure is wonderful.
Oh, go on. Well, I've got to run along now and start cooking my own dinner. Goodbye again.
Goodbye.
That sure was sweet of that lady.
Yeah. Now I'll really be able to give 'em a Thanksgiving dinner. Oh, boy, am I happy.
That turkey sure looks good, don't it? Look at there.
Boy, that turkey sure smell good, too.
Yeah, tell me this, Ruby. When is you going to take it out of the oven?
Oh, it's got about an hour to go yet. I hope the boys get here on time.
Yeah. Look at it there, Amos. Just look at that thing.
Yeah, that's something all right, ain't it?
Yeah. Looky right there. See how it kind of browning up on the breast there? Look at that.
Yeah, look at that. This is getting brown, ain't it?
Oh, boy, wouldn't that turkey be proud if he could see himself right now?
I just got to baste it a little more here.
Yeah.
Look at that gravy going over that breast.
I wonder why they don't make perfume out of that stuff. You know, Amos, that must be them now. Now remember, do just like we said.
Okay, come on now, Ruby, come on.
Yeah, and just when I put my hand on the doorknob, we starts the thing. You ready?
Happy Thanksgiving to you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh.
I've got a special delivery letter for Mr. Brown.
For me?
Yeah. Sign right there.
Oh, yes, sir.
At the lodge hall, they told me you were over here.
Thank you.
Okay.
What's the matter, Andy? You look sad.
What is it, Andy?
Yeah, well, I is sad, Amos. But I is proud, too.
What do it say, Andy?
It's from Jimmy.
It is, huh?
Will not be able to come to New York. Neither will the other boys. We are leaving for a port of embarkation. By the time you get this, we will no doubt be on our way overseas. Love, Jimmy.
You can really be proud of that boy, Andy.
Yeah. God bless him. I sure hope he has a safe trip. How many guests did you invite over here for the turkey dinner, Andy?
7 of them.
Who all did you invite?
I don't know their names. Just 7 boys from the USO.
Join us again next week at this same time for the Amos and Andy Show, at which time Amos and Andy will have as their guest the fine picture character actor, Mr. Donald Meek. Our program is shortwave to our armed forces overseas, wherever they may be. This is Harlow Wilcox speaking for all of us and thanking the charming MGM star, Miss Spring Byington, for appearing with us tonight. Thank you, and good night.
The show had earlier in 1943 become a situation comedy, and yet Freeman Gosden and Charles Correll still had their dramatic roots in Amos and Andy being a dramatic serial and could still do drama. 81 years ago today, November 19th, 1943, Amos and Andy here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Up next, William Bendix as Chester A. Riley, living the life of Riley.
Americans, stand up and be counted in the fight against communism. You, as a private citizen, can strike back at communism. Where? In Eastern Europe, where 80 million people still bravely resist communist brainwashing. How? Through Radio Free Europe. RFE's daily broadcasts reach these 80 millions, keeping alive their belief in the free world. Give to Radio Free Europe Fund, Box 1963, Mount Vernon, New York.
Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox continues. First, let me tell you that on our Wednesday program, we'll have episodes of Casey Crime Photographer, Jeff Regan Investigator, Suspense, and Macabre. In fact, let me tell you a little more about those shows. Casey Crime Photographer, Stotts Cotsworth in Earned Rewards. Jeff Regan Investigator stars Jack Webb in The Pilgrim's Progress. Also Suspense, Lawson Zerbe, starring in an episode called Night on Red Mountain. Interestingly, the show originated out of New York City, and yet it dealt with a situation in California. You'll find it interesting. And we'll have an episode of the Far East Network and the Armed Forces Radio broadcast Macabre from 1961, entitled Weekend. And we'll cap it all off with an episode of Lum and Abner. That's all coming up on our Wednesday program. But right now, let us get to The Life of Riley, William Bendix. November 19th, 1944, 80 years ago, the turkey hunt.
Here he is. In the movie Wake Island, he was the Brooklyn Marine. In Abroad with Two Yanks, he's Biff the private. But tonight, he's just another American citizen looking forward to good old Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, and I got plenty to be thankful for. This year, our family's going to have a turkey filled with chestnut. When I was a kid, we had a chestnut filled with turkey.
The American Meat Institute presents William Bendix in The Life of Riley. And later, during our show, we'll have a special visit from your favorite Hollywood correspondent, Jimmy Fiddler. And now, on behalf of all those engaged in supplying meat to the nation, the American Meat Institute presents The Life of Riley with William Bendix as Riley. The Rileys have just witnessed a performance of a Thanksgiving play at the high school, and right now they're waiting for their daughter Babs outside the stage door.
Why, I thought the play was fine, especially the way Babs played Priscilla.
Yeah, Babs was good. And I got a laugh when Captain Miles Standish's beard fell off. Boy, was his face nude.
Oh, if I was Priscilla, I'd sooner marry Miles Standish than Elmer Gillis.
But the Gillis boy was playing John Alden. She had to marry him. That's history.
Now, wait a minute. If they were so stuck on getting history into it, answer me this. Where was Nathan Hale?
Nathan Hale wasn't a pilgrim. Pop, you're all mixed up.
Junior, a little respect, please. I know history, too. Nathan Hale was the fellow who said, I regret that I have but one wife to give to my country.
Oh, Riley, if you see any of Babs' teachers, don't talk history with them.
Believe me, that play wasn't history. And that Elmer wasn't a pilgrim. He was a grim pill. What an actor. He ain't got enough life in him to play a dead body, that guy.
Quiet, Riley. Here's Elmer's father.
Well, if it ain't the Riley.
Oh, hello, Gillis. I was just saying how your boy Elmer played John Alden. Great.
Thanks. And whatever you've been saying about my boy Elmer's acting goes double for your daughter Babs.
What?
Thanks. Oh, dear. Those pilgrims sure lived in romantic days. Sometimes I wish we'd been born in those days.
If we had, we'd be pretty old by now, huh?
I suppose you might have married Captain Miles Standish instead of me, huh, Peg?
Well, it depends, Riley. You think you could have kept us some fresh turkeys like John Alden kept Priscilla?
Well, sure. I know how to shoot a gun. Remember the time we had a shooting match down at Cohen's farm? Didn't I shoot the cigar right out of Muley Durkin's mouth?
Well, sure you did. But the target was a tin can on a fence.
Was it?
Oh, yes, Riley. If I was a turkey, I wouldn't be worried when you came around.
Well, there's a woman's logic for you. Look, Peg, we're married, ain't we? If you was a turkey, I'd be a turkey, too, and turkeys don't go around shooting each other.
Now, you take me, Riley. Every year I go up to Antelope Valley. I shoot a gobbler for Thanksgiving.
Oh, you do?
Well, sure. Ask my wife.
You hear that, Riley?
What he can do, I can do.
Huh?
Well, sure you can. Just the same, I'm getting our turkey from Jake's Market.
Now, listen. Hey, Peg, where you going?
Oh, I'll be right back. I'm just going inside to see what's keeping bad.
Oh, wait a minute. I'll go with you, Mom.
Look, Gillis, what's the idea of tearing me down in front of my wife? Telling them cock and bullet stories about shooting turkeys, huh?
Well, it's true. If I'm lying, may I never see my landlord again.
I still don't believe you.
On the level, Riley. See, every Thanksgiving up in Antelope Valley, they have a big turkey shoot. The best 10 scores win a turkey. It's only $1 a try. And with $5, you're sure to win one.
Oh, I can win a turkey at a shooting match, huh?
Well, sure, it's a cinch. And Digger Odell, the undertaker, he'd lend you his cabin he's got up there.
Oh, that'd be perfect. But look, supposing a guy, naming no names, but suppose that this guy couldn't shoot so good and he wanted to show his wife he was a good shot. Suppose this guy loses in the match.
Well, I know one man, again, naming no names, but he happens to be my children's father. This guy, if he loses in the shoot, he buys a turkey from some guy who wins.
Oh, I get it, Gillis, yeah. Well, the first thing tomorrow, I'm seeing Digger Odell and talking turkey. Good morning, Digger. Glad I found you home. How's my favorite undertaker?
Glad to see you, Riley. You're looking fine. Very natural.
I feel good. Say, Digger, I got a favor to ask you about Thanksgiving.
Ah, Thanksgiving. Roast turkey, cranberry sauce, gravy. I adore Thanksgiving. It's so gay.
Yeah. Well, I want to prove to my wife that I'm a good shot, so could I borrow your place up in Antelope Valley this Thanksgiving, please? Huh?
Certainly, Riley. Glad to be of help in your hour of need. In my profession, we have a slogan. The good that you do to people will come back to you in the end. And so will the people. Riley, you'll enjoy my ranch.
Ranch? Say, how big is this place of yours?
It's 1 mile long by 15 feet wide. The land used to belong to a railroad, but they moved over to straighten the track.
Well, that's a kind of an odd shape, though, isn't it?
Yes, long and narrow, but very comfortable.
Yes,
Personally, I adore it. The wide open spaces, the bracing air, the smell of wood smoke to sharpen the appetite. It makes you feel so alive.
Well, I got to be going, and thanks for everything, Digger.
Cheerio, Riley. Oh, bury me not on the lone prairie.
Since you asked me, Riley, I think spending Thanksgiving in the woods is silly.
But you love Digger's Ranch. The house is filled with wide open spaces. You've got to brace yourself against the fresh air because your lungs are filled with wood smoke. It makes you feel as if you were alive.
Well, maybe. But I still think we better stay home on Thanksgiving.
Oh, nothing doing. I'm going to make you take back what you said about me being a bad shot. I'm going to win at that shooting match.
Oh, well, I don't mind going, but Couldn't we buy a turkey and bring it up there, just in case?
Stop worrying, Peg. I guarantee to bring in a turkey. If I don't, I'll eat my hat.
Save the crown for me, Pop.
Junior. Hello?
Oh, hello, Riley. I'm glad I got you in time. This is Gillis.
Well, hurry up, Gillis. We're just leaving for the woods. The family's outside waiting for me.
Oh, I got bad news, Riley.
Huh?
I just heard that the turkey shoot's been called off.
What? They can't do this to me. What am I going to do now?
Call the trip off.
I can't back out now. I've been bragging so much about what a good shot I am. If I don't win a turkey, I'm a dead duck. I'm coming. I got to go now, Gillis. Maybe I'll think of something on my way to the station.
Riley, who was that on the phone?
Gillis.
Oh, is anything wrong?
No.
Well, then why are you looking so gloomy?
Well, Gillis was just telling me about a nice family he knows that may be without a turkey for Thanksgiving.
In a moment, we'll find out if Riley can wriggle out of his dilemma. But right now, this is Ken Niles, your Minuteman for meat. And my Minute's Worth tonight is on this question. What can you do about the cuts of meat you can't get these war days? And the answer is you braise the cuts of beef you do get. You see, our government is taking a big part of beef steaks and beef roasts these days to feed our fighters. So a lot of the beef left for us on the home front is what we call the braising cuts. They're lean, and you must prepare them a little more thoroughly if you want to serve them at their best. So the American Meat Institute recommends braising. Now, braising is a little like roasting, and it's a little like frying. It's accomplished through low heat over a longer time and on top of the stove. You pan brown your short ribs or flank steak or pot roast or whatever you're braising. You add liquid, put on the cover, and let her braise. And boy, oh boy, braised beef, brown, glistening, drenched with gravy, tender though lean, is something to kiss your cook about. So, ladies, if you're hungry for kisses or compliments or just plain hungry, braise that beef. Remember, the braising cuts of beef are rich in proteins of highest quality, just as all cuts of meat. All meat is a yardstick of protein foods because all meat measures up to every protein need. Well, it's Thanksgiving morning, and the Rileys are at Digger Odell's cabin in the woods. Riley, determined to keep up his big bluff that his shooting skill will get him a turkey, is tramping through the woods, gun in hand, with Junior.
Junior, I don't know why you had to come along. You're going to make me nervous when I'm aiming at the target.
Oh, I'm sticking with you, Pop. I want to see how you do in that shooting match.
Don't even trust your own father.
Hey, Pop,
What?
you said the turkey shoot was being held near Hooper Falls. We're going the wrong way. Look, there's the station.
Yeah, I know. Junior, look, we got to have a father and son talk. It's time you knew something. I can't put it off any longer.
Oh, you mean you're going to tell me about the bees and the flowers?
Now, Junior, about the birds. One particular bird, a turkey. Look, Junior, we always been good friends. With us, it's been one for all and every man for himself. It's always going to be that way, right?
Okay, Pop. What is it you don't want me to tell Mom?
Well, you don't have to be so blunt. But you see, the turkey shoot was called off.
You mean we aren't going to have a turkey?
Well, it looked that way at first, but just before we got on the train, I got a big idea. I phoned Jake's Meat Market from the depot, and I fixed it with Jake to ship a turkey up here on the morning train. Now I pick it up at the station and tell your mother I won it at the turkey shoot. Ha, 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 what a rib.
What a fib.
Well, after we're all full of turkey, I'm going to tell the truth.
Oh, here's the station, Pop.
Oh, yeah.
Gosh, I don't see it outside, and the station's locked.
Well, somebody's got to be here. How am I going to get my turkey? Wait. Here's a note on the window here. Closed today. Closed? No, they can't do this to me.
Oh, Pop, now we ain't going to have any turkey, and it's Thanksgiving.
Thanks, Junior, for keeping me informed.
Oh, well, Pop, let's go home.
Oh, Junior, I can't go home without a turkey, so now I'm really going hunting.
But, Pop, there's no turkeys in these woods.
Well, there's other game to hunt. There's deer.
Deer? But we'll never get it home. A deer's too big.
Oh, all right, then. I'll shoot a rabbit. They're smaller.
Oh, you couldn't shoot a rabbit. They're too fast.
Yeah, well, then keep your eye open for a turtle.
Gosh, turtle.
Well, I heard it's very tasty. We can have turtle drumsticks and stuff the shell with chestnuts. Come on.
Well, if you ask me, we're on a wild goose chase.
Well, if we get a wild goose, that's better than nothing. Come on. Let's...
Gee, we've been walking for 4 hours, and here we are, back at the train track.
Yeah. My feet would give their right arm to get out of my shoes. Junior.
What?
Did you ever hear of a mirage that looked like a turkey?
No, Pop.
Then look where I'm pointing. And if you see what I see, I'm going to shoot.
It's a bird, okay, Pop. Listen.
It's a turkey. A big gobbler. Junior, stand back. I'm taking aim.
Pop, you're shaking. Should I hold a gun still?
No, you better go hold the turkey. No, stay here. Get behind me, Junior.
Let me shoot it, Pop.
No. Look out now. I got a bead on him. I see him under the gun sight.
Pop, he's coming toward us.
I won't shoot till I see the white meat of his eye. 1, 2.
You missed him.
I couldn't have missed.
Well, open your eyes and look. He's still coming at you, Pop.
I'll get him this time. Ha! Pick him up, Junior.
You didn't even touch him. Now he's running toward us.
Junior, he's surrendering. He knows when he's licked. What the...
Gosh, Pop. I think he likes you.
Yeah. I can't shoot no bird that gives himself up, can I? Now, go away, Turkey. Shoot. Right. Turkey, stop trying to kiss me. Go on.
Hey, Pop, look, there's a tag on his leg.
Well, read it.
Let's see. My name is Sultan. I belong to Patty Kane, age 7. Please do not feed me.
Feed him? I wanted him to feed me.
Gosh, what a Thanksgiving. No turkey.
Well, it ain't right. I'm a law-abiding man. Don't I do my work? Don't I buy war bonds? Don't I let the government withhold my tax? And I have to go without turkey on Thanksgiving. It ain't right.
Boy, that cabin sure looks good, don't it, Pop?
Well, I gotta go in and explain to your mother about no turkey. This is what I get for trying to be a smart aleck. Huh? Here goes.
Riley, Junior, where have you been?
Well, Peg, I've been thinking. Why don't we all go on a diet starting today? A foodless diet.
Well, we can talk about it after dinner. Meanwhile, the turkey's getting cold.
I think, did you say turkey?
Of course, turkey. In the dining room on the table.
Turkey? Gosh, Junior, look, what a turkey. Oh,
Mom, did you shoot it?
yeah, Peg, how, when...
That was some joke you played on us, Riley, you clever thing. Station master said you had it shipped up here from town, and he knew we'd want it today. Brought it here himself.
Yeah. Ain't that aeronautical? Huh?
Hey, Pop,
Right.
your neck's getting red.
That sunburn left over from last summer, Junior.
Well, dinner's ready, Daddy.
Okay, folks, grab your chairs. Every man for himself. Come on, pull 'em out there.
Oh, it looks delicious.
Start carving, Pop. Okay, let me have that carving knife. Dr. Riley wanted in surgery. Folks, just to make sure everybody gets enough turkey, I'm going to give you your second helpings first.
Riley,
Huh?
haven't you forgotten something?
Huh? Oh, yeah. I almost forgot. Well, here it is, another Thanksgiving Day, and we have plenty to thank you for. For our food, and for our work that earns it, and most of all, for all of us being here together. Some families are pretty far apart today. If you could see your way clear to bring them back together again pretty soon now, we'd be mighty grateful for that, too. We thank you for letting us live in a country where there'll always be a Thanksgiving Day, and if you help us, well, we'll do all we can so that someday there won't be any place in the world where people can't live in peace with each other. Amen.
Amen.
Riley will be back in a moment with your favorite Hollywood correspondent, Jimmy Fiddler. And remember, folks, all meat, regardless of cut or kind, has the right kind of proteins to build and rebuild body tissues. That's what makes meat a yardstick of protein foods. It measures up to every protein need. And may I add, the nutritional statements just made about meat are accepted by the Council on Foods and Nutrition of the American Medical Association.
Attaboy, Ken. Folks, this is Bill Bendix welcoming Jimmy Fiddler, who has a special message for us. So, Jimmy, on behalf of all the Rileys, welcome. Our microphone is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Thanksgiving Day is almost here. Perhaps if you have loved ones overseas and if there'll be empty chairs at your table on Thanksgiving, you may think you haven't much for which to be grateful. Perhaps food rationing, gas rationing, shortages here and shortages there have aggravated you. If that's true, open your minds and your hearts. We Americans have plenty to be thankful for. We can be thankful that we have freedom of the speech. We can be grateful for free press, for free screen and radio, freedom to worship God as we wish. Thankful that we can laugh and can speak our minds without fear, that we can say no and not be forced to say yes at the point of a bayonet, like the people of Germany and Japan. We can be thankful that our cities and homes haven't been bombed and that our babies haven't gone hungry. We can be thankful that the men who lead us today are now determined that there shall be no more wars, no more death and tragedy and famine. Let's protect this magnificent freedom and prove our thanks by buying war bonds, buying them till our pocketbooks are pinched. Good night.
Follow The Life of Riley, starring William Bendix and sponsored by the American Meat Institute, next week at this same time.
This is the Blue Network.
In fact, I always associated the Life of Riley with NBC, because that's where the show was for so many years. But I didn't know until just now that the show began on ABC, or the Blue Network, I should say, from 1944 till 1945. And then it would move to NBC and would stay there until 1951, which partially also explains why Jimmy Fiddler was on the show. Fiddler, who had been an NBC personality for some time, ended up, not only personality, but a gossip columnist. His show started off on NBC, then moved to the Blue Network, and stayed there until 1938, in which time he moved to CBS, and then back to the Blue. It was all over the place. He was all over various networks. He did scoop gossip queen Luella Parsons for a number of time. He scooped her in 1935 on a major story about Clark Gable. It was so embarrassing to Parsons, she lied about it in her autobiography. But the life of Riley did have a good run. It was not only in radio, taking Chester A. Riley, Bill Bendix, who was pretty much the heavy in motion pictures, and giving him comedy. And it worked. Initially, Chester A. Riley was supposed to be portrayed, believe it or not, by Groucho Marx under the title The Flotsam Family. They would end up getting him his own series, Blue Ribbon Town, instead. And he would... It worked out very well. Worked out very well for Bendix and for Irving Brecker, who produced and created the show. Alrighty, you are listening to Classic Radio Theater, and that was from 80 years ago, November 19th, 1944. A reminder, visit our webpage, classicradio.stream. Coming up next, Phil Harris-Alice Faye.
Ladies and gentlemen, the chief hope of our enemies is to divide the United States along racial and religious lines and thereby conquer us. Let's not spread prejudice. A divided America is a weak America. Through our behavior, we encourage the respect of our children and make them better neighbors to all races and religions. Remind them that being good neighbors has helped make our country great and kept her free. Thank you.
And we move from old Blue Eyes to Phil Harris-Alice Faye in a Thanksgiving show from 74 years ago, November 19th, 1950. Still very early in 1950 for Thanksgiving, but I think you'll understand why, because this is kind of a weird episode. Let's listen.
From Hollywood, the Phil Harris-Alice Faye Show. For your enjoyment, here is the Phil Harris-Alice Faye Show, written by Ray Singer and Dick Chevrolet, with Elliott Lewis, Walter Tetley, Robert North, Janine Roos, Ann Whitfield, Walter Sharp and his music, yours truly, Bill Foreman, and starring Alice Faye and Phil Harris. Alice has decided to take the children to Palm Springs for a few days. Phil is unable to go, so her brother William is driving them down. As we look in, Alice is saying goodbye to Phil.
I hate to leave you home all alone, Phil. Just think, I'm going to be gone for 3 whole days.
Yeah, goodbye. Bye.
Stop pushing. Phil, you don't sound like you're going to miss me.
Oh, honey. How can you say that? With you away, this house will be an empty shell. Every place I look, I'll see you. The memory of your face and the echo of your voice will linger in every nook and cranny. And I promise...
Oh, for heaven's sake, Philip, stop being so corny. You're such a square. Shake hands with Alice and tell her goodbye.
What do you mean, shake hands? I'm going to kiss her goodbye.
Oh, I wish you wouldn't. Every time you do that to my poor sister, it makes me sick to my stomach.
Think about this, Willie. Phil, are you sure you're going to miss me?
Oh, what a silly question. Of course I am. While you're gone, I won't know how to spend the weekend. I'll be lost.
Oh, Willie, did you hear what Phil said?
Yes, he said he's planning on spending a lost weekend.
Willie, you're being a nasty little man. One more crack like that and I shall retaliate.
You won't dare strike me.
I'll do worse than that. The next time you have an angel food cake in the oven, I'll stomp on the kitchen floor. Look, don't worry about me, Alice. I'm going to be working over the weekend anyway. In fact, I'm having the band over tonight to rehearse some classical numbers.
Classical numbers?
Yeah, you know, stuff like Beethoven's Fifth and Schubert's Moonshine Sonata.
Oh, well, as long as the boys are just coming over here to work and not to play poker all night, okay.
Oh, you know we wouldn't do that. We would... Uh-oh. Come in. Alice, I assure you that the boys are just coming over to work.
Mr. Harris, I got the stuff you ordered for tonight.
What stuff?
Carton of ice cubes, 4 fresh stacks, 2 cases...
Wrong house! Get out! Get away! Come back later.
So you and the boys are going to work tonight, huh?
Yes.
And what are the cards for?
Oh, the cards. Oh, yeah, the cards. Well, they're card stunts like they have at a football game. You see, the musicians will hold the cards up in front of them, and it will form a full head of Petrillo. With teeth.
Oh, I see.
I wish my old lady was that gullible.
Now, Phil, the card stunts might make sense, but do me a favor. Explain the ice cubes.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm anxious to hear this one myself.
We use the ice cubes for sound effects.
Oh, I see.
I don't. Explain it, Bud. Explain it.
All right. We just happened to be going to rehearse first the waters of the Minnetonka. And in order to get the proper effect, we have Remley breathe on the cubes, and when they melt, we get a dripping sound.
Phil, I have to hand it to you. That's not bad.
It ain't good.
Just one more thing, darling. What's in those 2 cases?
The case. The one on the left is the case of clarinet reeds for the woodwind section.
Since when do reeds come in bottles?
Oh, honey, don't be silly. It's the newest thing. It keeps them airtight and fresh. Isn't that right, mister?
Oh, yeah. You see what it says on the bottle, lady? Lager Reeds. The reeds that made Milwaukee famous.
Thanks, mister. I appreciate it.
Yeah, don't mention it. Yeah, I got a nosy wife.
Phil, that's a case of beer, and I doubt if you can explain that.
I bet I can.
I'll bet you can't.
I'll take part of that bet, lady. This guy is pretty good.
I guarantee I can explain the beer. And I say now, the beer. Well, that's for the woodwind section. They dip their reeds in to soften them up.
And now tell me, what's in the other case?
That's something to soften up the brass section. Now, are there any other questions?
Yeah. What do you want me to do with the 6 dames I got in the truck?
Take them out. Now, that I didn't order.
I know, but just for fun, let's see how you get out of that one. Excuse like that for my old lady.
Will you get out of here? Look, honey, please, why don't you and Willie go upstairs and start the packing, will you? Go ahead, I'll answer that door. Hey, hiya, Frankie.
Hey, Curly, I'm raffling off a turkey for Thanksgiving. Can I put you down for 10 tickets at $1 apiece?
Well, I don't know. That's a little high for a turkey raffle.
Well, seeing you're my best friend, I'll tell you what. I'll sell them to you at half price, 50 cents apiece.
Okay.
Here's the tickets.
Here's the money.
Thanks. Too bad you didn't win.
What do you mean I didn't win? Wait till I hold a raffle, will you? Now, when is the winner going to be picked?
Last night.
Serves me right. I should have known better than to get roped on something that you're selling. Who's the guy that ran this raffle?
By some strange coincidence, it was me.
Uh-huh. And who picked the winning number?
By an even stranger coincidence, I did.
And who won the turkey?
Any more stupid questions?
Look, I don't understand you, Remley. How can you do a thing like that?
I didn't do it for me. I did it for you and Alice. You've been inviting me over for Thanksgiving dinner every year, so this year I'm going to supply the turkey.
That's very nice of you, Frankie, but Alice already bought a turkey for Thanksgiving, and we've already got it. It's in the freezer.
All right, we'll save that one for Christmas. Let me surprise Alice with my turkey. I got it out in the car. I'll go get it.
All right, go get it. Do you need me to help you?
No, you stay here and sing.
Frankie! Ooh, you're asking me to sing.
Well, why not? I'll be outside and won't hear it anyway. Go ahead.
Let's choo-choo to Idaho. Come on, let's go. Let's choo-choo to Idaho. Mr. Engineer, let's hear that whistle blow to let 'em know we're on our way to Idaho. Hey there, fella, soon we'll be in Pocatello and then Sun Valley. According to my Rand McNally, tell the folks back home in Chi, tell them toodaloo goodbye. Let's choo-choo to Idaho. What a trip, it's terrific on that Union Pacific. What a change from those covered wagon days. If those old 49ers had these up-to-date streamliners, they'd commute clear from Butte to Iowa. So hey there, fella, here we go through Pocatello and there's Sun Valley. According to my Rand McNally, tell the folks back home in Chi, tell them toodaloo goodbye. Let's choo-choo to Idaho. Well, pardon me, folks, but if you ain't observed, I'd like to announce that our dinner's served. And glancing at the menu, I am proud to say the chef is really cooking up a mess today. The full-course dinner is a work of art, and I most highly recommends our a la carte. The dining car is open and it's straight ahead. The first one there is the first one fed. Now it's the custom here, though it ain't the rule, that if you late, then you wait in the vestibule. And folks on the counter we aim to please, we're the latest and the greatest in facilities. I just got word from the engineer. The green light is shining and the track is clear. We breaking every record and I ain't surprised, 'cause she's a mighty locomotive and she's dieselized. From east to west, from coast to coast, the Union Pacific is the foremost. So hey there, porter, when we pass Nebraska's border, get my suits out, lay my shirts and western boots out. If I'm going west today, might as well go all the way. Yippee-i-o, let's choo-choo to Idaho. Come on, let's go. Let's choo-choo to Idaho. Come on, let's go. Let's choo-choo to Idaho.
Hey, Curly, is it all clear in there? You through singing?
Yeah, just finished. You can come on in.
Well, here she is. How do you like her?
How do you do, miss? I'm always glad to meet a girlfriend of Frankie. Now then, where's the turkey?
Don't be a wise guy. This is the turkey.
Oh. With your girlfriends, it's kind of hard to tell. The last one you had looked like a unicorn.
She did not look like a unicorn. Just seemed that way because her head came to a point.
All right, Remley, look, will you listen to that? We can't keep a live turkey in the house. Get old Tom out of here.
Curly, please, don't call her old Tom. Charmaine happens to be a lady.
Charmaine? Ooh la la, French turkey yet, huh?
She's very sensitive. You better apologize to her.
Oh, by all means, I shall. I beg your pardon, madame.
Mademoiselle. She's not married yet.
Well, propose to her and get her out of my house. Look, if Alice sees a live turkey in her living room, she'll yell blue murder. You can't keep a thing.
She doesn't have to see her. We'll hide Charmaine in the closet until after Alice leaves. We'll surprise her when she gets back from Palm Springs.
All right, anything. Come on, Frenchie. Now, get in there. Get in there. Look, Frankie. Oh, listen to that. We'd better tie her up and gag her so she won't make any noise. Now, come on and get in there and help me and close that closet door so nobody overhears. It's you and a live turkey.
Well, Willie, I guess I'm all packed. Will you ask Phil to help carry the suitcases to the car?
Very well, Alice. I'll get him. If I were Alice, I wouldn't trust Philip home alone. He needs a keeper. He's nothing but a middle-aged juvenile delinquent. Philip, Alice wants you to come out to... Well, that's funny. I could have sworn he was here in the living room.
I never
Somebody's in that closet. I wonder who it is. I'll just sneak up and listen.
Hey, Curly, will she be all right in here? She won't smother, will she?
Nah. She'll be all right. Now, look, Charmaine, don't make a fuss, and we'll let you out as soon as my wife leaves.
Charmaine? He's got a woman in there.
Charmaine, will you please stop squirming like that and leave... Ouch! Remley, she bit me.
She's a wild one, too. I'm going to put a stop to this right now. I'm going upstairs and tell Alice he has a woman in the house.
Hey, Curly, I think I heard somebody out there. It sounded like Willie.
Old blabbermouth. Certainly he'll run right up and tell Alice and spoil our surprise. Look, we better hide that turkey in the den. Now, come on, Charmaine. Get out. Come on.
Oh, Alice, have I got something to tell you? Wait till you hear this.
Well, calm yourself and tell me. What is it?
Alice, I'm not one to start trouble between you and your husband. But it gives me a great deal of pleasure to inform you that Philip is unfaithful.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Philip has a French hussy named Charmaine hidden in the living room closet.
Oh, Willie, stop being ridiculous.
If you don't believe me, look in the closet yourself.
I have no intention of looking in the closet.
But, sis, this is the opportunity I've been waiting for 9 years. This is our chance to divorce the old cotton ball.
Now, Willie, I want you to stop trying to come between Phil and me with your wild stories. I'm going downstairs and say goodbye to Phil.
Do me a favor, Alice, and look in that closet.
I will not. I trust Phil implicitly. Some wives would be suspicious, but I'm not that kind. I'd no more think of snooping around.
Oh, there you are, Alice. Hi, you all ready to go?
Yes, dear. I just came in to say goodbye.
Well, so long, honey.
Have a nice time, dear.
Remley, let go of her. Take care of yourself, dear. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye. Bye now.
Now, how did I ever happen to walk into this closet?
It's a natural mistake. You've only been living here 9 years. How should you know where the front door is?
Well, so long, fellas.
Yeah, so long. Bye. Alice, the door ain't behind the curtains either.
Oh, I'm a little confused. Well, so long.
Curly, what's she doing under the couch?
Kissing her mother goodbye. Short chain. Hey, Alice, what are you looking under that couch for?
Oh, is this the couch? I guess I'm getting nearsighted. Well, bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Yeah, goodbye.
Hey, she finally found the door.
Yeah, this kid knows what she's doing every minute. Oh, what now? What can it... All right, come in.
Mr. Harris, my name is Homer Feinschreiber, and I just flew all the way out here from Altoona, Pennsylvania. I run a pool room back there. I'm a nice guy. I mind my own business. I'm a member of the Chamber of Commerce, but the last few days, my wife has been driving me crazy. She's hysterical. hysterical.
Well, I can't...
She just lays there in bed and screams at me. She won't get up and cook my meals. She won't iron my shirts.
I've got my
The other morning, she leaned down and kicked my youngest son, Wilbur.
Well,
That's going too far.
I don't know.
And it's all on account of you.
Well, I can't...
Oh, I really don't know me. I have no right to come breaking into your beautiful home like this, but you've got to tell me something so I can go back and tell my wife, Mr. Harris, what is the thing?
Look, buddy, I'm a busy man. I don't know what I did. Look, go back and tell your wife that the thing is...
Mr. Harris, I'm sorry. I didn't realize your wife was rehearsing her song.
Look, Remley, I got live turkeys, people breaking in from Altoona. What are you trying to do to me? I can't stand all this trouble. Why don't you take that turkey of yours and give it to somebody else? After all, I told you, we got a turkey in the freezer.
Yeah, but I'll bet the turkey Alice bought ain't as good as mine.
It looks pretty good to me.
What do you know about turkeys? I'll look in the freezer, and if that bird isn't as good as mine, we'll keep Charmaine and get rid of yours.
All right, go ahead and look at it. All this darn fuss over a turkey.
Just as I thought I knew I'd catch you with a whoa. Oh, you're all alone.
That'd have been a lot bigger laugh if you'd have waited for the door to open. But as long as you're here, what now?
Well, before I go, dear, there's something I want to say.
Well, say it, will you? What are you waiting for?
For the band to pick up their instruments.
Oh.
Bye-bye, baby. Remember you're my baby when they give you the eye. And just to show that I care, I will write and declare that I'm on the loose, but I'll stay on the square. I'll be lonely, but even though I'm lonely, there'll be no other guy. Though I'll be gone for a while, I know that I'll be smiling with my baby by and by.
Bye-bye, baby. Remember you're my baby when they give you the eye.
Although I know that you care, won't you write and declare that though on the loose, you are still on the square?
I'll be lonely, but send that rainbow to me, then my shadows will fly. Though I'll be gone for a while, I know that I'll be smiling with my baby by and by.
Hey, Alice, that was wonderful. You have a remarkable voice.
She certainly has. It's amazing how much she sounds like a quartet at times.
Well, I guess I'm ready to go now.
Yeah, well, go already.
Well, bye.
Goodbye. Bye.
They certainly were anxious to get rid of me. I wonder if he does have a woman. No. I know he hasn't, but just to make sure, I'll sneak back and listen. I'll make believe I'm going out the front door. Now, to tiptoe back and see just what's going on.
I thought that wife of yours would never leave, Curly.
Yeah.
You think she suspects anything?
No. How could she possibly know anything about Charmaine?
He does have a woman in the house.
Well, Frankie, look, after comparing the two, what do you think? Should I keep Charmaine?
Naturally. There's no comparison between Charmaine and that old hen you got.
Old hen? I'm only 29 and a half.
Besides, Charmaine is nice and plump.
The old hen I got's pretty fat, too.
I put on a half a pound and right away I'm a tub.
Look, Frankie, maybe I ought to keep the one I got.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. Charmaine is young. That one you got has seen better days.
True.
Besides, I pinched them both, and Charmaine has a lot more meat on her.
I don't know about Charmaine, but he's never laid a hand on me.
All right, Remley, look, I'll keep Charmaine. I got to admit, she looks a lot more tender.
If Charmaine had 2 children, she wouldn't be so tender either.
Hey, wait a minute, Frankie. If I do keep Charmaine, what am I going to do with my old turkey?
Give her away to some charity. Give her to the Musicians Union.
Musicians Union? Do you think they'd take her?
They'll take anything.
That does it. Calling me a turkey. If he wants to get rid of me, he can. I'll go upstairs and pack the rest of my things and leave him for good. I'll show him he can't talk
Hey, Miss Faye, I brought it. Why, Miss Faye is just crying. What's wrong?
Oh, Julius, it's Mr. Harris. He's brought another woman named Charmaine into the house.
Another woman? Ah, Miss Faye, let's keep our heads. Do you honestly think your husband is the kind of a heel who would bring another woman into your own home? Do you honestly think that?
Well, no, I don't.
I do. Have you seen the Charmaine dame?
No, I haven't, and I don't want to. I heard Frankie and Mr. Harris talking about her, and I'm leaving
Now,
him.
wait a minute, Miss Faye. Don't be hasty. This might all be a misunderstanding. Before you decide to leave Mr. Harris, you should take a lot of time to think this over.
Well, maybe
Time's up. Go upstairs and start packing. On your way before you change your mind.
I'm going upstairs and start packing right now. I heard him planning to get rid of me.
Ooh, that beast. I wonder how he's planning on getting rid of Miss Faye. Is he going to divorce her or just throw her out in the street?
I don't know why I ever got a thing in the
Uh-oh,
first place.
here he comes. I'll just duck behind here and maybe I can overhear his plans.
Well, Curly, as long as you decided to keep Charmaine and get rid of the other hen, let's make plans.
Yeah. I don't want to run around the house alive.
When is Alice coming back from Palm Springs?
Wednesday night.
Good. I'll bring the axe over Wednesday morning.
Axe? Them cold-blooded murderers is going to kill her.
Frankie, I can't use an axe on her. That's too cruel.
Well, I'm glad to see he has some decency.
Let's tie her to a stake and fill her full of buckshot.
Oh, I hope they at least blindfold her.
Curly, I don't like the buckshot idea.
Why not?
Some of the pellets might get in our teeth when we eat her.
Peter, this is more than I can stand. Stop where you are, you cannibals.
Julius, what are you doing in here?
I overheard you planning to kill Miss Faye.
What are you talking about, killing Miss Faye? We're going to kill Charmaine.
Oh, you tire of them fast, don't you? What are you killing her for?
So we can have her for Thanksgiving dinner?
Can't afford a turkey, huh?
Oh, be quiet, will you, kid? Hey, Curly, I got an idea. When we bring Charmaine in for dinner Thursday, I think Alice would like it if we dressed her first.
Look, Remley, that's going to be too much trouble. Now, let's bring her in undressed.
The least you can do is put a kimono on her.
A kimono on Charmaine?
All right, then. Make it a French bathing suit.
Oh, kid, why don't you leave?
That wouldn't look nice. Her pin feathers would stick out.
This dame has pin feathers?
Oh, Julius, will you stop already? What, dame? Charmaine is a turkey.
A likely story.
We can prove it. She's right here in the den. I'll show you.
I'll be darned, it is a turkey. This upsets all my plans.
What are you talking about, plans? Plans? What do you mean, plans?
Miss Faye overheard you talking and thought you had a dame here. She's upstairs packing to leave you.
Leave me? Oh, no. Come on, Frankie. We got to explain this to Alice. You and that turkey.
Nuts. This'll ruin everything. Miss Faye expects to find a French dame. Now when she opens the door, she'll only find a turkey. Or will she? A quick phone call might keep this ugly mess an ugly mess.
Alice, will you please believe me? For the 10th time, I tell you Charmaine is a turkey.
How do I know you're telling me the truth?
I'll open the door to the den and you'll see that it's a turkey. Now, there you are, Alice. This is our turkey. Gobble for my wife, Charmaine.
Gaboo, gaboo, gaboo.
I demand a recount. Oh, no.
Wow. Look what our little turkey has grown up into. Yum, yum, yum.
So this is your idea of a turkey, huh?
But, honey, when I put her in there, she was a turkey. She must have come out of her cocoon or something. I never saw this dame before.
Oh, Sherry. How can you say that about your little Charmaine? You like me, do you not?
Look, lady, I got no time for that right now. How'd you get in here? Who put you in this room? Oh, Julius, grab him, Frankie, and we'll have him for Thanksgiving dinner.
Okay, you tear his drumsticks off and I'll
stuff him. Folks, starting today, our program has wonderful news. Listen to this, the Hedda Hopper Show. Hedda's guests tonight are Mr. and Mrs. Ronald Coleman, Mario Lanza, Andy Devine, and Arlene Dahl. It's the Hedda Hopper column come to life. Stay tuned for it, and best wishes, Hedda, from Alice and me.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
This program was produced and directed by Paul Phillips. Yes, listen now for the Hedda Hopper Show on NBC.
They were such a wonderful ensemble cast, weren't they? The wonderful, wonderful Phil Harris-Alice Faye Show, 74 years ago today, November 19th, 1950. Superman's going to be up next after I remind you that on Wednesday's show, we will have Casey, crime photographer, Jeff Regan, investigator, suspense, and macabre. Thursday, we'll get back to comedy for a couple of days with episodes of Maxwell House Coffee Time, Jack Benny, Lum and Abner, The Great Gildersleeve, and then on Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, with the Jimmy Durante, Gary Moore Show, Honest Harold, starring the Harold Perry Show on CBS for one season. That's a fun story. We'll tell you about that on Thursday. Father Knows Best and Life with Luigi. And then Saturday, Crime with Mr. District Attorney, The Hall of Fantasy, Dragnet, and Pat Novak for hire. That's all coming up the next few days. Visit our webpage, classicradio.stream, for more, and if you want to support the show. Up next, though, we'll get back to the story of the Pan American Highway with Superman.
Your contribution of $10 or $6.95 for the budget relief package will send more relief overseas than the same money spent any other way. To help people in foreign countries with food or clothing, send your check to Non-Profit Care, New York. That's Care, New York. Send your check, your name and address, and full particulars about who's to get the package. Care will do the rest.
And CARE's mission continues today at care.org. Now let's go back 83 years, November 19th, 1943, the continuing adventure of the Pan American Highway, series of stories with Superman. And Bud Collyer still has laryngitis.
Presenting the transcription feature, Superman.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Yes, it's Superman, strange visitor from the planet Krypton, who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. Superman, who can leap tall buildings at a single bound, race a speeding bullet to its target, bend steel in his bare hands, and who, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth and justice. But before we join Superman, listen.
And now to our story. With its controls mysteriously jammed, Perry White's stratoship soars higher and higher to almost certain disaster. Inside the plane, Lois Lane, Bronson the pilot, and Perry White are slowly sinking into unconsciousness because of the lack of oxygen. Gasping for breath, Perry White turns on the plane's shortwave transmitter and sends a distress call. Meanwhile, not having been able to join White and Lois in their search for the American engineers who disappeared somewhere in the Andes Mountains, Clark Kent has returned to Washington to begin his duties in the Secret Service Division of Hemisphere Administration, a department of the government concerned with defense and goodwill between North and South America. We join him as he enters the radio room, where Evans, the operator, is seated at a control panel.
Oh, hello, Mr. Kent.
Hello, Evans. Anything doing yet?
Oh, no, sir. Not a word from G33.
Oh?
Say, what's the matter with your voice?
What do you mean? Oh, just a bit hoarse from dictating too much war news over the phone. Now, what's the situation here?
Well, all we've been getting is code from South American freighters.
Uh-huh.
I guess that third expedition is lost, too. I call them on the hour.
It's almost time now, isn't it?
Yeah, about 2 minutes. Mm-hmm. Say, why don't you put the call through? Maybe you'll have better luck.
Okay. How do you work it?
Well, you turn to 1780 on the middle dial. That one.
Oh, uh-huh. Oh, fine. Why don't you go out for a smoke or some fresh air?
Thanks, I will. Be back in 5 minutes.
Right out. Let's see, 1780. There it is. Mr. White will probably use that G33 wavelength, too. Wonder if he's transmitting. Try a little more volume.
Still climbing. Need oxygen.
What's that?
Controls still jammed.
What?
Strange noises outside cabin. Can't hold out much longer. Location, 1,800 miles southwest of Metropolis.
Hey, Scott.
Calling official 177. Perry White calling official.
White.
Why
don't they bail out? They're probably too high. What am I waiting for? This is no time to be sitting here. Only a few seconds left to make it. See now, 1,800 miles southwest of Metropolis and still climbing. That means an extra hard spurt for Superman. Hope it isn't too late. Up, and away!
Piercing the air with the speed of a thunderbolt, darting through mile-high clouds, onward and onward, almost too fast for the human eye to see him, Superman charges through space. Battering winds tear at his wide red cape, but nothing stops him, nothing swerves him from his course. 1,000 miles with the unflagging speed of a bullet. 1,400, 1,500, wait! What's that? It's the plane, Perry White's stratoship, like a mad monster bird still climbing into the heavens. Hold on. They've cut the engine. The plane falters. The nose is beginning to point down. She's going into a spin. Down and down. She'll never come out of it. Her wings will tear off. Wait. What's that speck in the sky? It's Superman. Can he see the falling plane? He's circling around and around. Yes, he sees it. He's plunging down. He's caught up with the plane. There, he's on the fuselage, crawling toward the tail. But what's happening inside? Are Perry White and Bronson still conscious?
Like a flute. Almost as though it caused this trouble. Bronson. Are your controls again? No. Still stuck. I can't move them. Listen. That flute-like noise. It stopped. The controls are free. They work. Now to level out of the spin. We've got plenty of altitude. We ought to be able to make it. I'll turn on the ignition. We're pulling out of it. We've leveled off. We're safe. Thank heaven there's plenty of air down here. Now, I'll have a look at Lois. Put her up her wrists to restore circulation. Lois. The color's coming back to her cheeks. Lois, everything's all right. We're safe.
What happened?
Well, Bronson cut the engine and we started to spin. Then the controls became free. We landed as soon as possible and checked them.
That noise. Stop.
Yes, we're all right now. Breathe deeply.
Oh, I feel better already. Look, outside the cabin of Faith.
Where? Oh, I don't see anything. Take it easy, Lois. You're a bit unstrung.
No, I'm not, Mr. White. I saw a face. I'm sure I did.
Easy, Lois. Easy.
As the stratoship flies safely on toward the horizon, Superman turns and streaks back to Washington, carrying with him a strange piece of wood that had been jammed into the control cables of the plane. In the office of the administration director, John Ives, disguised once more as Clark Kent, he shows the piece of wood to Dr. Colson, curator of the National Museum.
Where did you get this flute, Mr. Kent?
Flute? Is that stick of wood a flute, Dr. Colson?
That's exactly what it is, Mr. Ives. But you haven't answered my question, Mr. Kent. Now, where did you get it?
I'd rather not say, Doctor.
Now, look here, Kent. You've got to be more cooperative. I asked Dr. Colson over here at your request. He was good enough to drop all his work at the museum to meet with us, and now you refuse to answer a simple question.
But, Mr.
Besides, there's a rather strange coincidence about all this. I didn't tell you because I regarded it as, being unimportant, but all three of the expeditions that were lost in the Andes reported hearing eerie flute-like noises just before we lost contact with them.
What?
And now you walk in with a flute.
Well, that's amazing.
Where did you get it, Mr. Kent?
Well, I don't want to appear stubborn or uncooperative, but I just can't answer that question now.
Well, then why are you wasting Dr. Colson's time with a ridiculous toy flute?
Well, I'd hardly call it a toy, Mr. Ives. This happens to be a very good copy of an ancient Inca tribal flute. If it were authentic, it would be one of the greatest historical discoveries of all time.
Oh? Why, Dr. Colson?
Kent, this happens to be a very busy department, not a personal history class for you.
No, that's a logical question, Mr. Ives. Let me answer.
Oh, very well.
Now, as you see, Mr. Kent, this flute is made of wood, of the Cypresses macrocarpa family. Hard but perishable.
I see.
After 400 years, it couldn't possibly remain in this condition. Part of it would have rotted away. Don't you see that if this flute is authentic...
Go on, Dr. Colson.
It means that it was made less than 400 years ago.
Yes?
And therefore, the lost Inca civilization did not die. It means that somewhere, somehow, it continued, unknown to the rest of the world.
And that the lost Inca nation may still exist. That one of the greatest and richest of the ancient civilizations may still be alive.
It's fantastic. It's utterly impossible.
But if that flute were real, it wouldn't be impossible, would it?
No, but there isn't a ghost of a chance of its being real. Men have searched for centuries.
And found nothing, I know. Then why wouldn't it be worth a little time to check this yourself?
Well, I suppose I might.
How would you do it?
Well, first of all, I'd put it under an infrared ray.
Yes?
That would disclose the presence of any false markings or material.
I see.
Microscopic examination would show if these carvings were made with the proper kind of knife. Then there are acid tests and dye tests. And there's no chance of making a mistake.
How long would your tests take?
Oh, who knows? Maybe 5 minutes, maybe 5 days. I'll go back to the museum now and make a preliminary examination.
All right.
If I find anything of interest, which I doubt, I'll phone you. Otherwise, I'll get in touch with you or Mr. Ives sometime tomorrow.
Good.
Well, goodbye, Mr. Kent.
Right.
Take my advice and don't hold out any hope on this. Goodbye, Mr. Ives.
Goodbye, Dr. Colson. I'm sorry.
Perfectly all right, I understand.
Now, see here, Kent. I've stood about as much of this nonsense as I'm going to.
But
I asked you to come to Washington to assist me. I thought you had brains, courage, foresight. Instead, you waste my time with nonsense.
Well, Mr. Ives, if you'll only give me a chance, I don't think I've wasted your time.
Oh, you don't?
No.
You walk in here with a ridiculous wooden flute. You kill the whole afternoon. You break up my day and Dr. Colson's, and you have the nerve to say you haven't wasted time.
But if...
Why, there are 9 great American engineers somewhere out in the Andes, maybe breathing their last at this very moment. 130 million people are waiting for this department to act, to do something, to help find those men. And you're playing around with flutes.
Mr. Ives, I haven't forgotten those men for 1 second. You said you had to have a theory before you act. You said this case required brain work.
Yes, and a lot you're doing about it. Brain work, Kent, not flute work. Maybe you're running a fever over that bad throat of yours.
Oh, no, Mr. Ives. Don't you see what a clue that flute may be? The Inca Indians vanished in South America. Well, now look. Where could they vanish more completely than in the Andes Mountains? Wild, unexplored, vast mountains of granite. It's the perfect hiding place.
Kent, you're out of your mind.
You yourself said that the expeditions reported weird flute-like noises just before radio contact was broken.
Kent, I think this has gone far enough. I refuse to listen to any more of this crack-brain talk. I don't think the Hemisphere Administration Office has any further need for your services.
Well, Mr.
You can leave for Metropolis immediately. And I warn you, I don't want you to meddle in this case. Those are my official instructions.
All right, Mr. Ives. That's the way you feel about it.
That's exactly the way I feel about it. Goodbye. Stupid idiot. Yes?
Mr. Ives, is Mr. Kent there? This is Dr. Colson.
No, I just got rid of him. What's the matter?
It's absolutely incredible.
What's incredible, Colson? What are you talking about?
The anchor flute.
Well, what about it? I thought I heard the end of that flute.
It's real, Ives. It's authentic.
Then, are you sure?
Absolutely. For heaven's sake, by Kent, we must know where that flute came from. Hurry, please.
All right, I'll find him, huh? Kent! Mr. Kent! Look, where are you? Mr. Kent! The lives of 9 American engineers hang in the balance. Will one of the world's greatest historical secrets go unsolved? And what is happening to Perry White and Lois Lane as their stratoplane comes ever nearer the danger zone in the Andes Mountains? Follow the amazing developments as the mystery deepens in this strange international drama. Don't miss the thrills and excitement ahead. Tune in and listen with Superman.
Don't forget, tune in again for the next thrilling episode with Superman.
Look, up in the sky.
The bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
83 years ago, November 19th, 1941, here on Superman. We'll be back with more tomorrow on Classic Radio Theater, heading back to comedy as we head closer to Thanksgiving. Have yourself a great day. We'll see you tomorrow for more Classic Radio Theater. I'm Wyatt Cox.